Hello, friends, and welcome to The Architecture Enthusiast. The USSR Pavilion, designed by Konstantin Melnikov for the 1925 Paris Exposition, was a striking statement of Soviet architectural ambition and innovation. Situated within the bustling grounds of the International Exhibition of Modern Decorative and Industrial Arts, the pavilion stood out with its bold, angular form, embodying the ideals of a new Soviet aesthetic. Melnikov, an avant-garde architect, used this temporary structure to showcase not just the art and industry of the USSR, but also the emerging architectural language of the Soviet avant-garde, which sought to break from traditional forms and express the dynamic, revolutionary spirit of the times. The pavilion's design was daring in its simplicity and asymmetry. Constructed primarily from wood, a practical choice given the limited budget and time constraints, the building was conceived as a geometric composition of intersecting triangles and diagonals. The most dramatic feature was the pavilion's steep, angular roof, which appeared to slice through the air, drawing visitors' eyes upward. This sharp form created a sense of movement and energy, perfectly capturing the forward-thinking ideology of the young Soviet Union. The use of exposed wood as a primary material also reflected a commitment to minimalism and functionality, eschewing the decorative excesses of other pavilions at the exposition. A key feature of the pavilion's facade was the use of decorative tile along its lower portion. These tiles, featuring geometric patterns in red and black, were a modern interpretation of traditional Russian motifs, blending folk art with the abstract tendencies of avant-garde design. The interplay of red and black, symbolic of the Soviet Revolution, added a layer of ideological meaning to the building. The tiles contrasted with the natural wood structure, offering a subtle but powerful decorative element that connected the modernist pavilion to Russian cultural heritage. This fusion of the traditional and the avant-garde exemplified Melnikov's approach to design, in which past and future coexisted harmoniously. Inside, the pavilion was equally innovative. The open-plan layout allowed for flexible exhibition space, where Soviet achievements in industrial design, art, and technology could be displayed. The absence of internal walls created a fluid, dynamic environment, where visitors could easily move between displays without interruption. Large windows, which formed a significant part of the facade, allowed natural light to flood the interior, creating a bright, airy atmosphere that contrasted with the heavy, enclosed spaces of other national pavilions. Despite its forward-thinking design, the pavilion faced some criticism. Its stark, minimalist aesthetic and sharp angles were unsettling to those accustomed to more classical forms of architecture. The pavilion was seen by some as too radical, a departure from the decorative and ornamental trends that dominated much of the 1925 exposition. Additionally, the temporary nature of the building led to concerns about its structural longevity, with its wooden construction seen as less prestigious compared to the more permanent materials used by other nations. Today, the USSR Pavilion is remembered as a landmark of Soviet avant-garde architecture. Melnikov's design, with its bold use of geometry, exposed materials, and symbolic decorative tile, represented a decisive break from the past, heralding a new era of functionalism and abstraction in architecture. Experiencing the pavilion at the time would have been a moment of surprise and fascination, a glimpse into a world where architecture was not just a reflection of history, but a vision of the future.